So this 2017 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon back here has and still is our go-to long haul vehicle for long road trips in which we need to travel, good distances to get to our objective. But starting this week, we're beginning preparations for a 2-vehicle trip in which we're going to have the Jeep YJ accompany this Rubicon on about a 4.5 hour drive from our home here to do some light off-roading and basically proving out the YJ to see if it's roadworthy and better yet, trail-worthy. So one of the questions that we want to get answered is this 1993 Jeep YJ, straight inline 4.0 liter 6. We've rebuilt the suspension from front to back. It's got a remanufactured engine in it, as well as exterior mods, interior mods, and upgrades and restoration. Is it roadworthy? Okay. We're not in a situation to where we can tow this where we need to go. We drive our vehicles to the areas that we choose to visit and explore. So we've got a few more upgrades we're going to do today. We're going to work on the rear track bar. We're going to add our winch rollers to the front. And then we're going to put a new weather seal on the back hatch. And that's about as far as we're going to go with it for now. Now, keeping in mind that the suspension on this is new, but the differentials are still bone stock. Okay, we're still running Dana 30, Dana 35 axles. Okay, and they're just open diff axles. All right, we have put a sliding track bar on there to give us more flex. We've added some extended sway bar links to give us more flex. We're going to work on the rear track bar today to give us more flex. But bottom line is it's just a stock open diff 4x4. So we're not expecting anything, miraculous out of it. Just we're going to go with some light off-roading. And the objective is to not break anything because we got to get it back home. So, can it get us 4.5 hours out of highway driving, 3 days of light off-roading, and 4.5 hours back home? That's the mission here. And then after that, we'll address lockers and maybe axle upgrades if we feel that they're needed. Okay, so that's where we're at right now. We're going to get to work on our upgrades for the day, and we'll keep you informed as we prepare and execute what's going to be known as Expedition 60.10. We'll be back. All right, so this weather seal here is pretty well worn. So this is going to be replaced with a new one there. We were getting some water leaking in right here at this area, but the new seal should fix that. So that's our first mod for the day. So we've got the hardtop propped up with those sticks, as you can see. We had to loosen all those bolts, and now we've got it got a little bit of a gap right there, so we can get underneath and work that seal in. Milena has been in charge of all weather stripping, leaks and seals, things of that nature for this whole project. So if it leaks, ¿quién tiene culpa? I'll be the one driving it, so. Okay, so no falta este pedazo allá. Alright, so we really had to fight that to get that in there. I mean, it didn't go easy, but it's installed. So we'll see if that helps with leaks around the back door. All right, so I was gonna take this track bar off right here. Okay, and I've got the bolt broken loose, but as I'm sitting here looking at this, I can see that the previous owners already built an extension, and that's lifting it up about 1.5 inches from its original position. And that's a pretty shitty job, the weld, but it's been holding for all these years. So I've raised and lowered my axle a few times, and it seems to be dropping straight. It's not dropping to one side or another. So I think for this trip, I'm going to just leave the track bar as is and just see how it articulates. If I have trouble getting a wheel up in the air, and I'll try to find a spot to test it out there, then I'll reconsider this on the rear. On the front, I've got the slider like we said, so all I got to do is loosen that bolt and I'm good to go. So I'm going to leave this in place and just see how it rides this time, and we'll reevaluate it before the next trip. Okay, so we put a body lift on this. I'm going to check my torque settings at 50 pounds, and just on my main body bolts here. Okay, they seem to be holding good at 50 pounds. Let me get the other side. That's just something good to keep up with. And these back bolts, we're going to catch them at 35. Okay, that one took a few turns there. Let's check the other side. Alright, so we did a frame rebuild back here on the back. So I'm putting some drain holes in the new portion so water won't accumulate back here where it usually rusts. Okay, so we got the winch all mounted with the rollers, and got it all hooked up. We'll be testing that here in a few. And on our battery, we installed these accessory acceptable battery in terminals, okay, with the quick disconnects on them. So we're going to go to a 2-battery system on this, but we don't have that ready yet. So for now, this will be easier for installation of accessories as we go along. Okay, so we got the carpet back in front and back here in the rear as well. This is the original carpet that was with it. We cleaned it out. Actually cleaned up pretty nice. So we've got that back in. We're fixing to put our storage locker in. We'll have that in just a minute. Alright, so we've got this handy storage locker. Okay. Of course, we'll secure that. But for now, it'll be a good way to store some supplies. And then we still got the flat area on top. Little room on the sides. We'll get it packed out with here with gear pretty quick. Okay, well, it's been a pretty successful prep today for Expedition 60.10. I think that's the number. One of these days I'll reveal my formula for that, for numbering our trips. So, but anyway, winch, suspension work, did some work on the interior, battery cables. We got the weather seal on it. I got an abundance of things done today. So the YJ's coming along, and we are 4 days out. Still time to roll out on our first backcountry run with the YJ. So we'll keep you posted.